So Ralph, I got to ask you, as a partner at the Tech Collective, as someone who is living and breathing cyber liability and looking at the risk from systemic outages, from how your clients are addressing their cyber risk, you know better than anybody that the threat actors are leveraging AI, generative AI, and really intelligent AI systems. In some cases, kind of light, but they're out there getting the efficiencies of AI tools on the attack side. At the same time, it's your organization seems to be really out front, trying to leverage some of that same technology on the defense side and on how you evaluate risk. Tell me about what made you decide to do that and how you proceeded with that.
Good questions. So let's go back to when I started writing cyber insurance, over 10 years ago, whenever it was. And as it progressed and we went from a simple data breach insurance to, now an expanded threat on companies, I noticed that there was a deficiency in the limits that people were now trying to write for insurance. For instance, I would go into one of my accounts. So it was a big manufacturer. They did about 700 million a year in revenue. And when I went in, they had $1 million policy. And I said, well, that's really not a lot for cyber. And I didn't have the account yet. I came back a year later, they now had a $3 million policy. And then they had an event. And then I got called in to try and help them with the event that they should have been covered for, but they weren't. And it was a long story. But I said, look, you're at 3 million. And then all of a sudden they wanted me to bring them to a 5 million because they were doing business with a big box company. And the big box company wanted them to have 5 million. So they were complaining, oh gosh, now they want us to have 5 million. I said, whoa, time out. I'm your agent now. We're going to do this my way or I'm going to walk. And I was serious. So I did a whiteboard for them. And I had all the powers to be in the boardroom. And I said, let's write this down.